What's up, everybody? ArrgThePirate here, and today we're going to play a little Soul in the dual lane. And guys, this is a strange match. We have an Artist Miss support and a Ymir in the jungle, but hey, it worked. Now we've got Hunter's Blessing, Tiny Trinket, 3 healing potions, 2 mana potions, and Aegis for our starting build, and then we're going to build into Shoes of the Magi, Bancroft's Talon, Warlock Staff, Spirit of Desolation, whatever ring, Rod of Tahuti, and Purification Beads. Now I end up picking Spirit of Desolation over Warlock Staff when the time comes, because I was doing phenomenal in this match. But really, you know, if you're struggling at staying alive, pick up Warlock Staff. I think it's a great item, especially on Soul. And, you know, it's nice to have a stacking item to where you can just stay in lane forever. Next, we have to go over a kit, and first up, we have her 1 Radiant. Soul Burn Sprite, gaining a large amount of heat, healing herself over time, and igniting the ground around her. Enemies that walk into the fire take damage over time. And guys, her number 1 gives you 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80% of your heat, which is her passive, and we'll talk about that in a little bit more in depth coming up. But this is a huge heat booster, as well as it heals you for 25% of your health over 5 seconds. So it's a huge heal as well. Next up, we have her 2 Stellar Burst. Soul's next basic attack explodes, creating a shockwave that travels out, dealing damage. At full size, the wave retracts, dealing damage again and slowing enemies. And it gives 10% heat when you use it in the slow, you know, it's got a decent slow. But the big thing is about this ability, guys, is it's a basic attack. Don't forget that, because if you're building like ability damage with Soul, really nothing's gonna do a whole lot with her. She's a basic damage god, so really you want to build items that really, you know, synchronize well with that. Her 3 is Disapparate. Soul burns down to her manifestation, gaining movement speed and immunity to slows and leaving a trail of fire behind her that damages enemies. After 3 seconds, Soul loses corporeal form for a short time. Soul may leave incorporeal form early. Now, this seems confusing to me, but basically, for 3 seconds after you hit 3, you get a little bit of movement speed and immunities to slows. And then 3 seconds after that, you turn into a ball of fire that just flies around freely and you're immune to everything. It's basically like an Aegis. You can't do anything and nothing can be done to you for 3 seconds. Lastly, we have her ultimate Supernova. Soul unleashes all of her flames in a fury from the sky, striking 8 times along a movable ground target location. Enemies hit are knocked back on the first strike and take 30% damage on successful hits. So really, this thing is kind of like a knockback, a disruption ability. It does a decent amount of damage if you can hit it all, but aiming this thing is really hard, guys. And one thing I've definitely learned, you're never going to chase someone down with this ability, because the speed of it is fairly slow. So you need to kind of hit unsuspecting people or people that are very, very close to you, and you can actually put that target location on the other side of them. If they're just barely in range and you're trying to catch up to them, you'll never hit them with this ability, so don't even try. Now we have to talk about her passive, Unstable Manifestation. Soul gains heat as she uses abilities and hits her basic attacks. She gains 1% magical power and 1.2% attack speed for every 4% of heat. At 100% heat, Soul's basic attacks gain 25% damage, and heat decreases over time. Basic attacks give 5% heat. Now, okay, if you look above Soul's nameplate, you see that swirly fireball. That thing is the key to playing Soul. If you see here, my hits are doing 54 damage. My basic hits are doing 54 damage. And I'm slowly ranking that fire up. And you can see now I'm doing 58. So I'm doing just a little bit more damage by ranking that up. And once I actually start throwing those fireballs faster, you can see here, I'm now doing 81 damage. So quite a bit more damage, and I'm attacking a lot faster. And this is the key to playing Soul, guys. Anytime you get into an engagement, you want that thing to be on fire. You want to be just cranking out fire insane fast. And one way to do that is your 1. Use your 1 to get your heat. When you get into an engagement at max level, your 1 gives you 80% heat. So you use your 1 in 4 basic attacks, boom, you are now throwing fireballs like crazy. But if you use your 1 and then your 2, it only takes 2 basic attacks to get your heat all the way up, and that's awesome, guys. That's absolutely huge, and knowing that is how to really play Soul. If you go into fights without having your heat, by the time you get your heat online, the fight's going to be over with and everybody's going to leave. So you really want to try to get your heat on as early as possible. And you see here, I know I'm just going to farm this wave, so I'm not too concerned about, getting that heat up. I'm not using my 1, any of that, and I'm just doing the damage. Now, one thing you can also do is if you want to, if you've got your heat all the way up and you want to keep it up, you can just preemptively use your 1 to keep it all the way up, or you can hit your 2, and by using your 2, just activating your 2, you'll get that 10% of heat back, so that will keep it just a little bit longer, because you've only got a few seconds before the heat starts going away. And, again, keeping it all the way up is kind of a big deal. Alright, enough about that. Let's get into this gameplay. Now, I'm pretty much solo in this lane, but you can see we're 2-0. We're doing a pretty decent job, and I just go ahead and burn my ult there because I want to burn my ult. I got some great poke there, and we're able to push that lane. I pushed that lane just a little bit too fast. We did have some rotation, and I was thinking, hey, this would be great. I just ended up pushing that lane just a little bit too fast there. But hey, we've got some huge poke on Izanami, and Geb is there, so we've got to be aware of her shields. And you can see our Ymir's kind of hanging out, waiting to go in on a gank. We're just really waiting for something to happen. And once it does, hey, we'll get in there, hopefully be able to take them out. Now I'm gonna go in on the tower, and then Geb shows up, or our Ymir shows up, starts doing a little bit of work. Sure enough, we're able to take out Izanami. That's huge. That is absolutely huge. Their Geb is very, very low, but I see that Giannis shows up, and if you see here, we use that 3. We got big movement speed, then we turn into our fireball, and we're running away. I go ahead and hit my 1, get my heals online, and then I'm going to stay engaged in this fight. We had some great rotation for my team, so we're going to stay engaged on this fight, but hey, let's just back off. Giannis is here, basically this has turned into a mid lane game. Let's just get out of that. No reason to stay in there, and I'm going to try to finish, or start trying to finish my Bancrofts. Now, since Anubis did stay back, he does end up picking up a kill, but he ends up getting rotated on. We're going to head over as quickly as we can, and me and Art are going to collapse on this, and we end up actually taking one of them out, which, hey, that's great. Their Giannis is here, with that portal being where it was and everything like that, I try to head over to this lane to see maybe he comes that way, but no, he's not going to. Let's just push the lane, not worry about that, and then I see, hey, there's actually a fight with Ymir showing up. There's potential to get into an engagement here. Sure enough, we're going to head in. Giannis is here. We're able to take them out, and Arrg getting 3 of those kills, that's absolutely huge. Getting a hunter fed, is always great, and we should be able to freely push this tower and actually pick it up for free. Even though it is very early in the game, we've been taking them to pieces, but unfortunately Art and Ymir decide to go a little different way, and we're not able to take this tower down. But that, again, it's not that big of a deal. We're still very, very early in the match, and it would be nice to stay in a laning phase just a little bit longer to continue our farm. Here we are fighting this lane phase, and without having a support, I need to be careful, and I see Geb coming in. Let's just instantly hit our 3, and you see here we go under tower. That we did take a big chunk of damage, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. We should be able to protect this, and my team is rotating over, and that's going to make it easy peasy. I start coming out under tower, and it's game over, man. It's game over. They get absolutely deleted, and this is a free tower at this point. Awesome play by my team, awesome rotation by my team, and it is definitely an unconventional match when you've got this kind of roaming jungle / support hunter, but it seems to be working decently. From here, we push this tower, and since we saw Geb just use his roll, it's no big deal. We hold that void buff. I'm just wanted to steal it from him. And then we're going to head in on this Geb. You know, and here's where I was talking about where when you're not burning, guys, when you're not burning, it's very difficult to actually get these kills. And, you know, I'm chasing this Geb. We end up, you know, he does a nice dodge on R2, but no problem. Now, Arrg is out of position now, and she's getting rotated on. You can see I stopped to back, and I was like, hey, there's 3 people there. I'd just go in there to die. You know, I'd just let her go. That is unfortunate, but hey, is what it is. From here, I'm going to head back to my lane, continue my farm. You know, I am the hunter, yeah, or I am an ADC. I still want to get my farm. You know, I'm not a hunter, I'm a mage. But, you know, I am that late game hero, and I definitely want to get my farm. But you can see there, Geb is here. I thought he was going to go that way, and I was going to try to hit him with that ult, but he ended up kind of going a weird way. We're able to get this kill on him. Oh, great. Niza shows up to try to help him out, which was a huge mistake. Ymir's able to wall him off, and, you know, we're going to go in on him a little bit. He's tricky, though. I'm missing everything, and he ends up ulting me, but we're going to be able to take him out, no problem. Now, if you see here, we get some rotation. I'm very low. Izanami shows up, and you hear right there, she used that little invisible thing. I want to get out. I just used my Aegis in case she was going to shoot that little line thingy at me, whatever it's called. You know, I figured she was probably waiting for that. We're able to get out. I'm not exactly sure why she didn't follow me. If you look, they're actually still in an engagement at the Gold Fury. I really thought she was going to chase me down there, but, you know, hey, she didn't, and we end up surviving. Now, once we spawn back in, we're going to just then head over to our lane. You can see our art ended up going into the lane. We're just going to kind of secure this, shove this next wave, and then head over. You know, I looked at their void, and Geb just picked it up. I'm going to pick up the red. I let Anubis take it, you know, give Anubis more power. That's always great. We go in, ult Izanami, we chase her off, which is, you know, always nice. And we're going to save this tower just a little bit longer. You know, it's eventually going to get to the point where once Izanami gets on the tower, it's going to instantly die. You know, we're just kind of waiting for that to happen. But, you know, as long as I can continue to get my farm off of it and really keep them from being able to rotate and getting their farm, that's what we want. Now, Arrg goes in like a crazy person and is able to do a ton of damage to Izanami, but she's going to be able to dip out with almost nothing. Geb is here, and you can see there is some rotation. You know, my team is here, though, you know, so it's, hey, we're going to make something happen. We end up dipping out, and then, again, we're going to re-engage on this fight. I end up hitting minions with my fireball blast, whatever it's called. Geb's dodging me, and, you know, he's just waiting for that cooldown, but hopefully we'll be able to chase him down this time, not like last time. And, you know, he's going for a very deep into our jungle runaway type maneuver. And so that's going to free us up to pick up gold pretty uncontested. Now, sure enough, we're able to pick up gold, and I'm going to head back to base, finish up my spear, and then I realize, hey, I need a relic. I go ahead and pick up some beads, because, you know, why not beads? And then head to my lane. You can see here, we're still able to defend this tower. Oh, man. Izanami's here. You know, she's running away from Arrg back into me. You know, getting surrounded, being solo as a hunter, you know, we're able to take her out. Great job on, you know, great job on Arrg's part. Arrg's doing a great job. I don't know what... I guess you would call her a double jungle? I don't know. I wouldn't ever say she was doing a support's job, but hey, she's going where she needs to be, so that's kind of what a support does. And hey, we're making some good progress. I end up backing out of that chalk situation, and you know, Ymir kind of stays in. I'm gonna just throw this poke. Now, I think he took that to mean, hey, let's go in, and I was just doing that to get some poke so he could get out. We need to get out of this situation. That's not good for us. That is very, very bad for us. And, you know, sure enough, they end up backing off. This is going to allow me to drop Void. Nah, I'm just going to continue to pick up Void. Let's leave red for Anubis. Anubis always needs more damage because, you know, he's so damage heavy. But, you know, Izanami's here. Ymir's chasing her down. I'm going to follow Geb. Yeah, you know, Izanami, we're either going to catch her or we're not, and she ends up making a terrible mistake right here, heading back towards me. We're able to take her out, and then Geb's easy kill at that point. Great double kill. You know, Izanami was doing everything she could to get away, but she definitely should have ran more towards her base and not trying to loop around like that. You know, that was just a poor choice on her part. But, you know, Ymir staying on her tail the way she was, that's awesome. You can see I go into tower right there to make sure I kept my heat up. That's what that was, because, again, guys, heat affects all the damage that you do, and I wanted to make sure I had enough time to down that tower. And from here, I'm actually going to rotate over to mid. You know, we've got a huge presence in mid. We're pushing this lane. We should be able to take this tower as well. And you can see I'm slowly doing more and more damage, but we're able to take this tower out, no problem at all. And Izanami gets absolutely deleted by Anubis. Oh, his ult is insane, guys. We're gonna head over to this Gib. Hopefully we can get over to him fast enough. You know, we did burn R3 there, and you can see we kind of arced that ultimate around. Sure enough, we're able to take out Geb, and you know, from here, we should be able to push into their Phoenix, take this Phoenix pretty uncontested. You know, most of their team is down, and then we see Chalk and their Niza are out of position. We get a team wipe right there, and they end up surrendering. Oh, awesome play, awesome finish to this game. This was definitely an unconventional match, but guys, you can see it definitely worked in this case. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for this Soul Guide. I really hope y'all enjoyed, and if you did, show me some love. Leave me a comment, think about subscribing, add me on Smite, guys. We've also got our clan, Scurvy Dog Crew, or Discord. You can find all that in the description. And again, guys, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.